I hope I'm connected. I hope I've got sound. And I hope I can flip the screen. There we go. There we go. And I hope that you could hear me, because I can hear myself, obviously. Oh boy, oh boy. We have a live stream happening today that could be just a little bit. We shall see. We may have to go to the blooming alley and check some blooms. All right, I'm gonna put a question in chat. Can you hear me? Question mark, because all these variables here talk about keeping us on our toes, huh? I'm just gonna wait. Hey! Yay! Julian's son can hear me. Julie's son can hear me. Fernanda, hello, you can hear me. I'm about to do cartwheels around the patio, but it's a bit wet, so I shall refrain. Anywho, it's good to have you here. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate it. Yes, we had some rain. I'm telling you, one device, beautiful sunshine. The computer, pouring rain. Don't know what to believe anymore. Anyway, it is muy importante that you're here. That is the most important thing. And the video is in the right rotation. Indeed. My goodness. We're not going to jinx it. All this positive stuff happening today. Okay, right. Chico, you've got to move. Okay, look. This, this is my Cattleyas intermedia. Since I got her, there's been 2 orchids in this pot, and I've never had the courage to separate them, because that would mean going right up into the rhizome, fiddle around with roots. So for the last 2 or 3 times that I've repotted her, all I did was root trim and uppot. Well, the time has come to actually separate them. Not because I think, I don't want 2 orchids in a pot, but because another reason I've never separated them was every single time they started root growth, they would be in bloom. But because of low light levels during the winter, her growths aren't blooming. And we're going to take advantage of that, because when a Cattleya blooms, especially a fragrant one, I really, really want to enjoy the blooms. So she's always blooming when new root growth starts. We're going to take advantage of this. Another thing, actually, this live stream was supposed to be for my simple repot of Cabalgata en Verde, but my brain is not functioning. It's not firing on all cylinders. Yeah, because maybe this live stream could be a little bit longer, but it's a city bus. You can come and go as you please. So we have no blooms, but we have root growth. And you see this growth right here sticking out like, hello? Yeah, that was because it grew during the winter, and it was reaching, as you can see, for the light. Her orientation, the light source was over here, because here's an active lead of one of them. And then I've got an active lead on the other side, which is currently growing a new growth. Thankfully, also new roots, because that was a big risk. Are you going to be growing roots at the same time? Bifoliates, happy days, a live stream. I would have rather done this on a video so that I could futz around. I am going to take my sweet time. In the meantime, hopefully answer also any questions that you have. Okay, this has been soaking in Bacterfill. I did the soak like 2 or 3 days ago. Today, because it was raining, I just put her out here and said, whatever rain comes, will come. Another thing I'm really hoping, I know this sounds weird, but I'm really hoping we've got a lot of dead roots in this pot, because then it's going to be pretty straightforward to get into the depths of the rhizome and separate the 2 out. I've got pots ready, I've got leca ready, I have my drink, I think I've got everything. And let's just see in the chat before I get my hands dirty, who else has managed to join in. Sandy's Orchid, hey! It's good to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time. Michael McCarthy, hola jefe, ¿cómo estás? You got rain this morning as well. Yeah, yeah, they go a little bit cuckoos then, don't they? Mine just lays around in the house, thank goodness. And of I've got Michelle Fucarino here. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's Sunday is starting off on the right track. Carmen's orchid. We'll be back. We'll be here. I promise you. At least I will still be here. I've even connected my device to the extension cord. As I mentioned, electronics and water don't go very well. If we have any issues, it starts to drizzle. Ooh, I've got so much going on in the blooming alley. And before I do a video on that, we are going to go undercover and check out some blooms. And then hopefully it'll stop raining and then we can continue. And if not, I don't plan to be here until the night. So this probably could be like a follow-up video to the live stream where I just finished potting her up, basically. Maybe on a video or not, but let's just get started. Now, as I was studying this pot to see what I'm up against, you see that root right there? I would like to maintain it, but being right up against the pot, I think I already bashed a new root tip right here, but from the squeezing, we have a branching root right here. Maybe we can tease it back into the new pot. We shall see. The challenge is to get her out of the pot. Okay, let's see. Apprehensive. But she's not pot bound. That's good. I don't need the hammer. And I can see dead roots. And yes, rejoice. I'm happy. Because that will probably make the journey towards the rhizome so much more, let's say less complicated. Easier. Oh, you've already separated. Fantastic. Hey, if the orchid is even going to join in and play the part, then I'm double happy. I just have to slow my heart rate down a little bit. When at 3 o'clock I put the message out, if I were to be late that it was raining, I just thought, are you kidding me? Really? Not that I'm complaining. This time of year to have rain, it's a gift. I tell you, it's a gift. Warm temperatures, my humidity is only 70%, but wow. It's a treat. If I hadn't had so much to do this morning, I would have had the fowls outside, but I couldn't get them out, get everything set up, cross my fingers at the same time. So the root system, yeah, that's normal. I think for a root system that has been in a pot for 2 years, maybe 2.5, I am not concerned about this one bit. And it's, sorry about that motorbike. Le Mans is just in front of the hedge. I think that the root system is also going to work in our favor. It's kind of what I wanted. I hope that is not going to come back to bite me. But, you know, she's never really given me any issues. Bifoliates and their root system, we know they have a reputation. So I'm just going to go with what I see and rejoice that they're dead, because this makes it a little bit less taxing on my psyche. I would like to, you know, maintain both pieces in a good state. You can see that I have had some scale issues with this one. That's another thing I always notice with bifoliates. They like, scale comes to bifoliates, I'm telling you. Okay, what I'm going to do here, hang on a second, is wipe my hands down. Get you in a little bit closer. Oh, Fernanda, I am going to test your stand, okay? We're not going to give up. You're Stan the man. Okay, now I may only get 4 spikes to bloom out, but with my 7 spikes, come on, Portugal, let's go. I'm looking for 10, as I mentioned in a comment. The size of that division warrants 10 spikes, definitely. I couldn't believe it when I saw 3 more, but the 3 are like by the basket, and they yeah, we know what happened last year. They kind of grew into the basket and then didn't manage to bloom out properly, so we'll see what happens this year. But I wanted to show you something. Oh yes. The choo-choo train of thought is back. Right here This thing here has a lot of leca on it, and the root is viable to a degree. If I can save it to get through, part of it is trying to branch, then that is fantastic. But for now, in order to save it to get through, I'm taking the media off. And if you're doing this with organic media, the same thing. Get the weight off the root, especially after soaking a root system that is wet. They become so much more vulnerable to cracking. So that's part of the precautionary measure I'm taking to make sure that at least I've done my due diligence on that part. Whatever happens after that, at least I won't get cross with myself if I snap it because I forgot to take the weight off of it from the media. Okay, a ver. The golf is on today. It's probably on at 7 p.m. my time, but seeing as it's LA, I'm gonna be hard pressed to stay up to watch it. I went to bed last night and the last flight was only on the 6th hole. I went to bed at 1:30 a.m. I was like, oh no, maybe Monday I'm just going to maybe sleep in. We'll see what happens tonight. When I get tired, I just, zone out. And I don't want to be taking my laptop up to the bedroom with me. That would be just a little bit ludicrous. But, and also it depends who's going to stay in the lead. There's certain factors. If, let's say, McIlroy is part of the lead and he's fighting and he's like in a good position to be winning, it's going to obviously keep me motivated to stay up. But if it's Scheffler or anybody like that, no offense, Scheffler, if you ever see my live stream, great guy, or an excellent golfer, but yeah, it wouldn't motivate me to stay up. So anyway, oh, isn't this amazing? This is a luxury for me to have you here, to have everything up, for it to have stopped drizzling. That's amazing. That to me is like bonus after all the hiccups that we've had in the past. Can't believe it. Maybe the algorithm is starting to settle down after its major update. The only thing we need to sort out is comments from disappearing. I am so apologetic about comments that disappear, and it's like, it's not in my hands. I don't know what to do. It is frustrating for the person who wants to comment. It is frustrating even when I was live with Trish the other day. I could see my follow-up device here on the right where I was following chat. I could see that I had my screen had frozen. The live was still ongoing. So I had to sign in and out twice. Get out of YouTube and get back in again. The screen froze, the chat froze. Julian has said that he was commenting in the chat, but kind of invisible. Nobody noticed he was there. And that is the weirdest thing. His comments were disappearing. Here's one thing. If the comments are nasty and they have slurs in them or derogatory terms, YouTube has become extremely radical about that and will delete comments. If a comma, for example, if you're writing a message, not just in live streams, but if you're writing a message and you put a period down, you don't put a space and you continue writing, YouTube will recognize that as a link. Word, period, word, no spacing. They see that as a link, it won't go through. And then normally these comments go in the back of end of the studio where there is a held for review section so that the creator still has the opportunity to say, no, I'm happy with that comment. I'm going to approve it. I don't see any of those comments. I don't. When people like Jose and Kerala, when he says my comments keep disappearing, my held for review area is empty. There's nothing. So, even let's say a mistake made in typing that could be determined as a link for the algorithm, that normally would then be in the held for review section. Nope, that thing is empty. And derogatory terms, I think YouTube now says if you have a derogatory term, before you comment, you hit the comment part, it'll actually ask you, double check with you, is this really what you want to say? So, I don't know. I hope they fix that soon. I've sent feedback to YouTube, but who am I? Probably, hopefully, a voice of with millions of other channels, but I'm nothing for the YouTube side. See, wait, media, wet root. It broke. Yes, mind you, it was a bit weak, but this is what I wanted to avoid. We'll just keep going. We have backup. Plan B is on the way. Stay focused and get right into the rhizome. And this is why I thought my cabalgata was going to be the live stream, and I completely brain fart. So here we are, because I don't want to wait another day to get this done. The longer the roots grow, the harder it's going to be to get in there. And then I'll just back off again and put them in a bigger pot. I really want to try to avoid that. This time around, they're going to be separated. To my understanding, only one of the leads has ever bloomed. So the second lead is a smaller, the second orchid in here is smaller. I keep turning her around, but there's nothing really different. I guess I'm just procrastinating and getting to the point. Let me stand up. Let me stand up. Okay. Ooh, we're going to get in there with some alcohol. The thing is, I can't cut a rhizome. You see how connected they are? This one right here. And there's the back end right there. The back of the other one is right there going in that direction. So there's no rhizome to be cut and then fiddle them out of each other. It's literally painstaking leca removal. Make sure that I'm still in frame. Now, one thing I can assure you is to have the luxury of the roots being dead is a major, major help. So we'll just go and see what leca we can push down, because I can't hardly turn the orchid upside down. It's looking a little bit more promising. Keep going. Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. There we go. Sorry if I'm quiet. Multitasking is not my forte when I'm concerned about root tips. The rhizome is down here, but I think it belongs to a third one. Huh. Can you see that? That thing right there? That's weird. Let's get it out. Make sure that I'm still in frame. Sorry about the hands. That's bizarre. We'll see what that was supposed to be attached to. Thankfully, they are growing in the same direction, so they're back to back in the pot. That also helps that I won't be snipping into any live roots simply because they're facing each other by accident. Any damage I do to any roots will be purely me rushing things, getting ahead of myself. All the stuff I keep telling my mind, stop. Stop. Hey, Betty Davis eyes. Yes, I know I shouldn't be looking at the chat. I should be focusing what I'm doing here. I don't want to make a mistake. But it's nice to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back after the foul marathon. My goodness, I had no idea when the information is flowing that we were going for 2.5 hours. It's fantastic. Mind you, I was mentally finished after that one. I had to literally regroup. I was like, mind blown. Okay. This is not the best angle to come in at, but I need to see what's going on. Root tips. I need to see what's going on. You're viable-ish, sort of, kind of like. There's another strong one there. I always start out with my debris bucket, and at the end of the day, it just doesn't end well. It all goes into the catch tray. Now I'm trying to focus on, let's say, one side. Right. I'm trying to get this little one out. If I can get that out and protect that root tip over there, right there. Let me see if this root is viable. Well, probably not now that I heard a crack. It looked it. Oh. These feel firm, but they could be, it just could be because they're such tough roots. I mean, the blessing here as well is I've got a branching root system. But tired by foliate roots. I mean, here we've got one. It's always a bit dodgy. It's so unpredictable. I bought this one as the variety Quinny. Quickly turned out to be just the classic intermediate. I wanted me some flares, but never mind. At least she's still around, is all I can say. Come out, wherever you are. Okay, let me just sit down. Right in there. Got some lekker hugging in there, so I'm just gonna consider that viable. Ugh, that one definitely wasn't. You. Okay, this was the part I was wanting to get into because I have a root here that looks nasty, but it's got a little green point on it. Oh, and I've got a root tip down there. Careful, Nina. Suddenly it feels a lot hotter out on the patio. Anybody else heat up when they're doing something that's a little bit dicey? Because that's how I'm feeling right now. It's not hot outside, but I am perspiring slightly. Oh, okay. Breathing is a good idea. That helps. Keep the oxygen going to the brain so we don't pass out. Here you are. Are you ready to? No. Because your root is going all the way in here. Madre mia. Oh, don't you just love the sound of the clanging of the gate? There you go. Oh, isn't this a gorgeous sight? Isn't this? Can you see it? Do you see it? All of that. Mm-mm-mm. Silence again. Oh. Oh, no. All right, let's have a look-see. You are history. Where are you catching and why? Where? I'll be darned if this is one orchid. I am 100% sure that there's two in here. Okay, 99.9 maybe. Yes, there are two in here. We have an overlapping root right there. So, anybody who's a fan of the fiddle, you're welcome. This one belongs to this growth right here. I don't think I need to fiddle there too much just yet. This little one is being obnoxious. Okay. Okay. Where are you caught? I can't cut this root off. It's viable. Are you the culprit though? Huh. Maybe the rhizome is sitting on the other rhizome. Here's the orchid that I'm working with right now. It's the root. It's the viable root that's down here that's holding on. It's branching, but that's not caught anymore. Oh, please don't tell me. Oh no. Okay, we're okay. Whew. Okay, lost my root. There it is. It's you right here. Oh, I've got you. I've got you now. You're the one with the beautiful root tips there, so we're going to have to create some space here first. This is the root that's catching right here. This one. Oh, thank you. And then as we come around here, let's get rid of this lacquer bead right there. Gosh, I hope this is for the most part on screen. I really do. Get you out. We've got a cluster of dead roots right here that we need to... Can you go? Will you go? Will you go quietly or are you going to make a fuss? Okay. Oh, did I just? I nicked it. Okay. Keep moving. Okay, keep it moving. Let's go. We've got the weight issue again with the media on those root tips. There's always one, isn't there? Let me get rid of this. I'm wearing a cap and I have to wipe my brow. Can you believe it? Okay. Okay, that root is going through the rhizome of the other one right here. So I have to do like a drop and a lift kind of maneuver, or what? Don't want to remove the back end until I see more. That's the thing. I don't want to be cutting into something that at the end of the day is needed. Huh. Okay, wait. So I have to kind of lift. Whew. Okay, slowly. All right, reposition, because I think I got it. Now if I lift, hold that rhizome. Where are you snagging? Right here. Oh, another one. But we're close. We're close. There's another one. This one right here. This one has gone. It's gone up into where the root tips are. And it's viable. Drat. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's make ourselves. Oh, this moss was helping keep the root tips protected from any kind of abrasion, but I gotta get in. I gotta see what's going on here. And see if I can keep that bit of moss around that root tip. Okay, that's there. And keep a bit of moss around that root tip, maybe. Okay. Now, you see why I wanted to do this on video? Get you out of my visual. We're working with this root right here. I have never seen roots join from one end to the other, so that's what I'm seeing right now. It's as if I've got a root growing from this piece and it's joined and become one with that side, but that's impossible. So what am I looking at here? Does it come through the other side? So this pretty much explains why I never did this repot without keeping them together. Can you imagine doing this while she's in bloom? No. Well, I couldn't. I just couldn't. So we're going to just take advantage and say, okay, blessed are low light levels during the winter. Otherwise, this would have been another up pot. Okay, that pretty much clears that hole out. Which rhizome? This rhizome right here. Where are you going? Okay, I moved something. I am right by the root tips that I really don't want to be messing around with. But this is a viable root, people. It's this piece. It's this bit. I'm just double checking if it's attached to another root from the other side. Okay. We've just dislodged that root there. It's getting more and more precarious here. Huh! It's loose. Let's find the right rhizome. Don't snag on me anywhere else. Don't do it. You know you want to. Hallelujah. Okay, wait. Slowly. Very slowly. There's a, oh, with weights. Yes. Oh gosh, I forgot the one that we were initially working on. It's got the leca on it. La 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 la. Happy place. Put yourself in a happy place. It's calm, it's peaceful. There's relaxing music and candles. Done. Oh my goodness, hang on a second, let me sit down. I've got to take my glasses off. I've got a towel behind me. Stan the man's towel, but oh, I need it right now. Oh, never a veteran of repotting, ever. Not when it comes to this. I'm gonna wash my hands and then have a look at the chat if there was any questions. Oh my word. I cannot tell you. Now I've got goosebumps. Whew. It's just insane. Ooh, get the gunk out from under my hands. Oh, geez, Louise. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that so much. That must have been probably like, well, a bit of boring commentary there. A lot of self-talk. Oh, wow. I'm glad that it's so humid because right now I would need to go in there with the sprayer. But they're okay for now. Woo. Welcome back, for Carmen. I'm back too. I had a feeling somebody would say, forget it, chop the root. You're right. Oh, but we did it. Oh, I was going to spray it. And then I had, you know how it is when you spray something and, well, when in the middle of the thought, I've got to spray it and get a better visual. And then you have to let go and then start again. So all these thoughts were running through my mind. And yeah, no, it's okay. The name of this Cattleya is, oh, thank you, Fernanda, Cattleya intermedia. Trisha's Orchid Life, it's good to see you. Hey. Oh my goodness, I did the fouls, Trish. I haven't edited the video though. And I'm bumbling and stumbling through all of it. The entire video is like, should be an interesting watch. Now we spray. Stay away from the cameras. Oh, I'm so relieved. There we go. Watch the weight. Oh, you got root tips there. Watch the weight. Now I can go all ninja on the dead roots, but I'm not going to. I've done enough. There's enough that has been removed. It's honestly, anything from here on in now, I'm just like, there. It doesn't matter, not here nor there. But what I want to do is get the bases clean, because again, this orchid was always a happy camper for scale to return. Right now, I don't have any, and moving into the new pot, I don't want to carry any along in case there's new ones deciding to start. Let's get rid of that thing, that just sticking up there. Yikes. I can't believe it. It's done. It's like the whole mount situation. You're circling, and you know it's got to be done. One day. But here we are. Today is the day. So I'm just removing the sheaths at the bottom here, because if there's any dead bodies, they're also coming off. Not the whole sheath removal hoopla. We can do that at a later stage once the new growth is also a little bit more mature. Okay. This little nonsensical piece can come off now as well, now that I have a clear visual. We'll just put her aside. Whew. There you go, you can stay in there. Come here, madam. She's the blooming piece. And this was the rhizome. Isn't that interesting? This was the rhizome that was all the way down there that we cut off. So you can come off to here. And at this point in time, I am not cutting off any of the seedling pseudobulbs. Doesn't look sus to me. Okay. Doesn't look sus to me. So here we go. Let's see. Let me double check where I actually bought this orchid from, because she came from Italy. She came from Giulio Salandroni, Orchide. And the same thing here. I'm not in the business of chopping any more dead roots off. We're going to spray her down. There we go. We still have a storm front, but it's all over the med. It wasn't raining really hard today, but, you know, just enough to think, yeah, I can't go out there with electronics. So that's clean to the base. That's pretty clean to the base. I don't need squeaky clean, I just want visuals of the base. We're good to go. We are good to go. Let me check the time. How long did all of that take? Plus the blah, blah, blah in the beginning. Probably about 35 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad, considering I thought we were going to be here for hours. Well, I was. Okay. That is good enough for me. One more look, because I'm so proud. Way to go. All right. Let me get my bigger tray, and I shall do the potting up. Do I need the bigger tray? No, I don't need the bigger tray. We'll just pot them up. One pot after a time. Whew, let's see. Let's do the little one first, because she should be relatively straightforward. Okay, and up you come. How many people am I raising up? 13 people, all at once, raised up. And in Swahili, that would be nguvu, mingi nguvu. That's a lot of strength from Swahili. Now, I've got large leca for this one. I'm saving my small leca that I probably need for other projects. Cattleyas, chunky roots. I think we'll get away with large leca because the pot size now is also greatly reduced. So just one loop. We'll test it out. One orchid, one loop, chunky roots. I think the wicking will be absolutely fine. I think we'll be okay. In my previous mix, I saw that I had also small leca mixed in. Not necessary in this case, seeing as we've gone down a pot size. Ooh, I need to make a new tag. Yes, it is visiting me today. I don't know who said that. I saw the comment. It just disappeared. Not disappeared from chat, but from the screen I was looking at. Goodness me, all these things you have to say nowadays because YouTube is being funky. So whoever said that, yep, it did visit me today. Let's just say I'm happy for it. But not on a Sunday. But it stopped, so no complaints. We could get rid of the moss that otherwise would be in the pot. We don't need that there. We don't need that. take you off. So that's a good thing. We're taking a surface root, putting her in a pot. I have absolutely no hopes of this actually, this root system we're putting in now, of being a surviving root system. That is not what's going on here. These bifoliates, once you tickle their feet, they're like, you're joking, right? And off they go. Let's get a support in just in case. There we go. And yes, it's very, very low for now. And I shall raise her up. Where are my root tips? So we'll start from the back. Start from the back. And yes, I've positioned the orchid in the back now. Normally I have been recommending keep the orchid in the middle, but I have a clear direction of growth. Even if she starts in the back 2 or 3 years in this pot, she'll be okay. That is, if she survives what we've just done to her, because you know how it is with twins. If you've had your experiences with twins, when they get separated, it's like one can't live without the other. Maybe it's the same for orchids. Don't know. Okay. Are you steady? No, you're not yet steady. So we'll just keep doing it. That one root tip is submerged. So we'll just, there we go. Now it's not anymore. Awesome. You gonna stay? Okay. There we go. Now. Alrighty. Let's bring you up. Bring you up. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Higher. That's fine. Okay, I'm back. Oh gosh, yes. It's typical. I'm back on, at least at my end. I know that it takes a while. It takes a while. We were doing so well. I'm only laughing because I'm nervous. I'm not laughing because I'm thinking it's a good idea to waste your time. But if you're back, if you stuck around, hello. Let me just show you one thing before we go back. That. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? That is Laelia purpurata striata. Gorgeous. On a cloudy day like this, she smells like a beautiful bouquet of roses. It's amazing. So thank you very, very much for sticking around. That was your treat. I don't know why that suddenly happened. It's like watching live TV in the 80s, especially in Kenya. Would you mind just, dang, stay. There we go. Right, that pot is empty. I'll show you the one that we just did. Stop with the disconnecting me. Everything is green. Nobody is using any equipment. When I'm live, nothing else is on but me. Those are the instructions of the household. Okay. The other one I did pot up before I actually noticed that thing circling because I was focusing on the orchid. She was very low in the pot and I raised her up a little bit and filled around with leca. That's all I did. So you didn't miss much there. But, oh my goodness. Let's do part 2 while we've still got everything that we need to in order to continue this stream. No bueno. It's a roller coaster ride of heartbeats, I tell you. And of course, there is a certain element of embarrassment involved as well. Totally vulnerable, exposed doing this live, but I just love it. I love it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to be persistent. As long as people are interested in these lives, I shall be persistent. I'm that kind of a person. I don't mind a certain amount of vulnerability. People say no. It's always an unknown with those live streams. I don't want them anymore. I'm not going to join. Then I get it. Then I won't be doing them. But for the meantime, I shall continue until the feedback is such to say no, stick with the videos until winter time when you can sit at your PC. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to also fill up another. Thank you very much, Fernanda. I appreciate the understanding. Oh, maybe the other one had the water level drop because of air bubbles. I'm just going to get this ready now. Right. Here's the big one. Here's the piece that has bloomed several years in a row. Let's see if we can't get this wannabe aerial root and convince it. Nah, you don't want to be an aerial root. Oh, but it is so stiff. It is muy stiff. Now, I've got to get my other device out of the way because we're going to be seeing if we can't do something about that. I feel like a chameleon. Look left, look right. Yeah, this one's not going to be bendy the way I want it to. Let's check and see. Here comes the sun. Da, 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 da. Now my stubbornness is not going to get in the way of me putting this orchid in the pot and insisting on this root. We're going to give it one try. Just one. And if it pops out again, then that's it. I got it to go down. Help! Okay, normally I like to now start in the back, but we need to make sure that this one now stays down. Yo, Fernanda, if you can just hop into the car for a second here, please. Thank you. You see that you can maybe even see it. I'm not sure. There's also a little bit of trepidation touching anything here. No, that's the angle that I've got. Move it around a tad. That root right there. That one. Yes. Let's see if we can't just tell it, look, we know better. So far, I'm not doing a good job at getting that root to be covered by leca, but it's not popping up. So what I'm going to do is work on the back here. Whoop! Why do you have a bit of moss? Oh, you're one of those remnants that we can snip off. Now I've set my mind to it. Now I want it done. Ah. There we go. Okay. Ooh, here comes the root. This orchid is going to be in here probably only 1 year. While she settles back in, that's it. Because of how she's growing back back in on herself, which was, you know, I wanted that. That's how I did the light training, but the pot itself, if I didn't want to disturb this orchid for another 2 years, then I would have to get a bigger pot. But I'm not going to do that because at the end of the day, I need to make sure that she lives before I start to be overconfident in my assumption that, oh, it's going to be fine. And you know what? Space in winter is going to be an issue. That I already know. There we go. I've still got some gaps. We'll make sure that it's still on the screen. That root is coming higher and higher. Can you see it? So I'm not going to raise this orchid up, because if I start raising her up, that root is going to also come up. I want it in the pot. Everything now has to be in the pot. We don't have to bury the rhizome that deep. But with a large leca, my dry climate, it's okay to have the little seedling bulb a little bit lower in the pot. I'm not bothered about that. If it goes, it goes. I have buried rhizomes in the past much, much deeper. What I have done, though, is always make sure that there was less media in the back, so that it was almost like next to nothing, seeing as there are no roots back there yet. But I can do that in this case as well. Just move the leca out of the way so that that seedling has a little bit more of a breathing space. But my intention here is not to have the seedling pseudobulb survive. It just shouldn't rot. That's the only thing. So normally I can go 2 leca depths. Normally I can bury a rhizome this deep. You know, that's the surface. Here's the rhizome. Because of my dry climate. If you're in a super humid environment with lots of rain, I wouldn't recommend doing that at all. That only works in a very dry climate. Okay, just pouring that away. We still have some filling up to do, but not much, not much. I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing, but I do need to get some down in there, just a little bit. Seeing as the base is pretty much sans roots, we can just fill in around and make sure that there's enough humidity in that area for the new roots to grow down. I know that this looks weird, but this is effective. This works. Because it's about the root system and not so much the aesthetics. The aesthetics can always come afterwards, especially with bifoliates or orchids that you need to have grow to strength. Don't worry about anything, how weird it looks or just it looks out of place. Trust me, that can all be corrected. But let the orchid at least come back onto her own. So we have an aerial root that is buried. Now that it's an active growth, it's going to be fine. Okay. Don't know where I lost my train of thought. Don't know where I lost the train right there, but what I'm trying to do here is make sure that the roots that are growing now will understand to go down. That's why I'm leaving a big canyon, like a huge gap, right down by the new roots here. Once they've gone down long enough, that being the plan, then I shall fill around with leca. So the orchid, yes, is very deep in her pot. I've done that on purpose, especially because this gorgeous root right here, that needs to stay in the pot as far as I'm concerned. And at least we managed to get those root tips pointing down. Okay. Right. Yes, they will dump their root systems. Well, tendency, you're right. That's a better word to say. They have a tendency to dump their root system when repotted. That's why I'm not fussed so much about the old roots, but really, really focusing on the new roots, that they are happy, that they don't go places where they shouldn't go. Where are my tweezers? Where are my tweezers? Oh. So that can stay there. It's this root tip I'm concerned about because of my dry air. And there's another teeny tiny root that has a nice green pointy bit that I showed earlier. I want that one to stay down. So we'll just weigh that one down while not putting any leca on this root tip right here. Okay. Whew. Without faffing around any longer, all I'm going to do now is fill up the 2 reservoirs just to keep the humidity up. My word, I'm shot. I'm absolutely, my head is just going. There we go. Humidity levels are up. And I will not be fertilizing these until the roots are long enough. There's no point. I do not want to incur any salt buildup at the surface. It'll just be flushing every 3 days. If it rains, like today, they're going out and they're going to get rained on and misted a lot. A lot of misting will be going on. So there is that. Oh, what a mess on the patio. What a mess. It looked so pretty earlier on, and I've really gone. It's like a bomb has hit it. Check this out. Bad word for YouTube. That's check. Anyway, I'm going to bring you something very special. We'll sit down and have a little chat if you're still interested, of course. If you're still interested, I'm going to bring you something. You're so cute. You're so cute. Watch this. Check this out. Look. Look. This is Laelia gillianii. 3 blooms. That's two more than last year. And look at the length of her spike this year. Look at that. I know I sound like some kind of, I'm clucking away about my little teeny tiny miniature here, but yay! She is so adorable. I'm so happy she made it. They only just opened. Well, the one that just opened is that, proper shape. Of course, that's been open quite some time now. Quite some time. What am I saying? 2 days. But for me, when I see one, it's like, oh, can't stop staring at it. And I'm so pleased that it's come to the stage another year to be growing really well. Because when it started pushing its spike, I was like, where are you going? I don't know you like this. What are you doing? So this is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. This just makes me so happy. And she's not fragrant. There's nothing really. I mean, people probably think, what's the point when you have orchids? What is the point with these tiny blooms? I don't know. It's hard to explain. You know when you know. Anyway, let me sit down and see if there's anything I have to apologize for. Any chit chat we want to have. Oh, I feel a lot better now. Now I feel better. I just need to take a drink. All right. Hello. That was a bit of thunder. It's over the med though. We're still here. We're still here. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you everybody who's been chatting away, answering questions. Thank you for your patience. Thank you that you stuck around even when YouTube was trying to tell me it's time to go. I'm like, no, we're not done yet. Thank you so, so much. Carmen's Orchid says, is it okay to fertilize every time you water and one flush? Yes, it is okay to fertilize every time you water in a wet-dry cycle. If it's an active growth, Carmen, if your orchid is an active growth, or every orchid in active growth, when the reservoir goes dry, flush through once or twice, depending, and then fill the reservoir with fertilizer. If you're growing in a wet-dry cycle, then it's a good idea to flush every day if the media is drying out, depending on your orchid. And the orchid is an active growth, yes, you want to be flushing every day at least, and then also maybe top up with fertilizer. But your main aim is to make sure that there's no salt buildup. So when you fertilize, maybe you should do that once a week, but make sure that you keep flushing. 3 flowers, that is awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Betty Davis eyes. I'd be clucking if I had a bloom. Throw a party. Yeah, I saw a comment from Renata in Australia under Trish's Orchid Life under the live stream that aired today. I'm so happy. She was like, "Oh my goodness!" And well, she was just so happy with all the information. So once again, thank you so much for all of that. That was awesome. You wish you could share what I'm experiencing at the moment. Weeding and oh, and the birds are totally fine with me being here and sitting on a Vita for call me Cinderella. Okay. Cinderella or Snow White. At least you've got a yard. That's awesome though. It's nice to be able to do that. I used to have like a huge estates kind of garden, and I used to love all the seasons that it threw at me, especially the pruning part, cleaning out a tree, getting out branches, checking the shape, pretty much like bonsai, but in a normal tree. That was so awesome. But yeah, I am I am over the moon also with my purpuratas. Considering how much light they need, and I had them out this year a little bit earlier. Temperatures were still a little bit too low for the other orchids, but I brought these guys out because I thought you're not going to get enough light indoors. And here we are. I've got buds coming out of my variety Verkhäuseri striata as well, Fernanda. I'm so excited. And the reason I'm saying that is because Fernanda's planning a care collab for Laelia purpuratas. And it was like, are we going to have blooms? And now they're just coming to life. Oh, it's wonderful. So nice. But I will do a blooming alley tour. I don't know if I have time tomorrow, but I do want to document them because it's just amazing. And how they have spread out. I don't have the blooms bunched up on the striata they were last year. They've just separated from themselves. It's almost like if she didn't have spotting and I had an orchid society, I would go and say, give me an award. I wouldn't even say, does she deserve one? I would just go and say, give this orchid an award. But of course, the pest spotting, she wouldn't qualify at all. But anyway, let me see, scroll up a little bit. It won't die back. I'm not sure what that refers to. Thank you for also your patience once again. Live TV, we've got to go up. No connection. Oh, Michael McCarthy, I'm telling you, that sounds like my head. It's almost like the brain and the interwebs are working in tandem. I don't have much connection in my head either. And why did I get all dirty? Where did that come from? I've got gunk on my t-shirt. Okay. All right. I've been. It wasn't rotting. No, thankfully, nothing is rotting on this intermedia. We're just going to keep an eye on her because I did take that one little old seedling thing off. I don't think there's going to be any rot in this instance, especially with the one being an active growth and growing roots. It's going to be just fine. Okay, going down. You got to take a lot of notes or rewatch the videos. Oh, I used to love weeding. I used to love weeding. It was so satisfying. Weeding the grass, weeding everywhere. Once all my bulbs had come out and out of the grass and it was time to weed, I used to love anything gardening. Absolutely. I had a wooded area where I had lily of the valley growing, crocuses, snowbells, just everything like that. I really had a 4-season garden, and then the interest for the winter, leaving my pond, not trimming anything back. I used to have the reeds and everything just go dry, and if there was snow or ice, and everything just looked like frozen in time. It was good stuff. But anyway, I do have one question for Fernanda if she's still around, and that is, do you have any Gloriosa lily blooms? Any at all, maybe? Asking for a friend. Because check this out. Let me scoot you around. I would get close, but then I'm moving further from the router. There they are. Only buds. Okay. Dems, the Gloriosa lilies back here. They are absolutely, yes, I love it. I have to come back here a lot just to make sure. I've already trimmed out like 5 blooms. Still got some buds to go, but then it'll be history. But aren't they gorgeous? I think they're amazing. Anyway, that's that part. Let's get back to the little Giuliani. And then, if there's no more further questions, I'm going to love and leave you and say thank you so, so much for being here, for being so patient. Yes, that's also what happens. It's like, are you going to open? Are you going to grow? What are you going to do? But isn't it amazing? I mean, you have a garden, Fernanda. For me, it's like when I see regular plants grow, their progress, and then we look at orchids. I mean, these shot up in a matter of 2 months and are in bloom. And then the metabolism of the orchids is like, oh, yawn. Okay, hey, I even wrote a message saying that I was frozen for a moment and I'm back and it never sent. Anyway, Hakuna Matata. Alrighty, there's no more further questions. I am going to wish you all a wonderful Sunday, rest of your Sunday, whatever you have planned. Lien Chan, oh my goodness, it's good to see you. Welcome. The Blatillas had spikes, Julian's son. They did. They tried to, well, the white one bloomed. The Ibos striata, she bloomed. And then the pink ones they didn't bloom out properly, but I did get to see their colors. And the white one looked really, really pretty. And I have a seed pod on it. So maybe there was something messing around with my pink blooms. Okay, Len has just arrived. I was about to sign off, but what are you saying? That is difficult to bloom? Which one? This one here that you're seeing on the screen right now? Or the intermedia as such? Speaking of which, she could do with a little bit of a drink as we are replicating dew. There we go. All right, just to make sure. Yeah, no, oh, she's bloomed the second time for me. I'm so proud of her. Yes, I am managing to bloom my Ridiculous Lalias. The other one that has bloomed, I have to make a short on it because the spike is over there, whereas the orchid is over here. The spike would be like, half a meter in that direction. Beautiful yellow blooms. So yeah, and this one I'm particularly proud of because the spike is so very long, which it wasn't last year, and now I have 3 blooms, which I didn't get last year. So very pleased with the progress on this one. I'm a little bit upset that my other ones didn't bloom like they did last spring, but hey, they're alive. That's all I can ask for. Just, you do you, boo. No, this is the second time. She bloomed for me last year as well. It's like she bloomed at the same time when Gracilis bloomed, but I don't have Gracilis in bloom this year, which is a shame. None of my other spring bloomers bloomed. My Alvarenguensis, my beautiful pink one, nope. She's got 2 new growths, didn't want to bloom. Okay, whatever. I do feel very fortunate, yes, because I went a little bit gung-ho with the Ridiculous Lalias. I have doubles, so in total I have 32 and maybe 28 of them are different species. Yeah, I'm really, really, I love these orchids so, so much. Good morning, Brea. It is good to see you. Look, we've been busy. I hope that you're doing well. It was a fiddle. It was a silent movie for most of the part, or me muttering things to myself because I separated 2 orchids from each other. Not a division, but there was 2 orchids, 2 Cattleyas growing in the same pot for the longest time. And now, no rhizome cut, but now they have their own independent pot. So I'm pretty proud of this because it was a bit hairy. I even had a towel to wipe my head with. You do like them, Lian Lian? Listen, let me tell you something. I have in my Lalia lookbook playlist, oh, ridiculous this, ridiculous that. They are the cutest. And I was a little bit, let's say, over the top when I discovered them and had my affinity start. And I've done a whole list of Repiculus laelia species that I can identify and see that they are species. I've got them on a list. And it was for a moment there, back in 2019, I was on a mission to find every single species to have that in my collection because they can live outdoors in my climate all year round. Unfortunately, I have lost three, three little ones. I lost Cardimii, I lost Lilliputana, Vasconcelosiana, I lost as well. Oh, but it is incredible how resilient these orchids are. The Bloom and Shiny Eye just blows me away. Uh, one little bulb grew, I just left it and it started growing a new growth. It never desiccated. Now it's like fussing a little bit with trying to grow roots. It's in the tiniest pot ever, but I could go on and on about Repiculus laelias. I love them. So happy to find another Repiculus laelia fan, Lien Lien. It's good stuff. And now they look good. Yes, Brea. And I am so relieved. So relieved. Now we just have to monitor that the root growth goes where I need it to grow, because I would like to see some pseudobulbs plump up again, just a teeny tiny bit. I don't want to be greedy. I'm not going to ask you, but Linden, I don't want to know exactly where you live because I don't like people to put their locations out to an exact science, but do you have any of these Repiculus laelias in your collection? Question. You did, okay. I'll keep trying. Maybe some of my videos can help you if there was a problem in the past. Maybe some of the videos that I put out can help you because you've got me on a subject here. Hang on a second. We're going to go closer to the router again. We are on the move. Hang on a second. I was about to sign off, but yeah. Not if I have somebody in here that loves Repiculus laelias. Let's go. We're moving. We're on the move. Okay. There's, on the right there are some of them. There. Lien Lien. Oh, Laelia anceps. Oh yeah, that's a gorgeous one. Fernanda has one of those. Laelia anceps is big. She's a climber, lots of humidity. I never bought Laelia anceps because of her climbing habit and the fact I have such low humidity. I would struggle to keep that orchid in a pot and struggle to keep it happy. That orchid loves to be mounted because of her climbing rhizome. She has a long rhizome, a climbing rhizome. And, but if you're looking into something a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable, Brea, I'm not trying to brush you off, but you know, Laelia anceps is gorgeous. And then be aware of the enormous long spike, which is always a hazard, you know. That's it. The spike takes like 3.5, 4 months to grow. It just gets longer and longer and longer. And she normally blooms during our winter months, not ours as in Spain, the winter months. Let's just say that's her bloom period. And if you're restricted to growing indoors, oh, it's anxiety inducing, at least for me, when I see a spike grow that just gets longer and longer and longer. And I'm in the blooming alley. And here's the Repiculus laelia right here. Okay. And then we can follow the spike all the way to here. And there are the blooms. It really, you know, my Alvarenguensis also bloomed with a very, very long spike like this. And I managed to hold on. And now I'm just like, remember the Brigeri, remember the Brigeri. I have to tell you that I would love to grow anceps. I would absolutely love to grow anceps. I think the flower shape is gorgeous. I have my Guatemalensis over here to the left, and she has a very similar lip to the Anceps from the color and everything. Here's the Guatemalensis, also a huge orchid, a long rhizome, but she doesn't climb. You can see how even she is in her pot. And you can see, oh goodness me, you see that growth right up against the edge of the pot there? Yeah, we'll be addressing this orchid. We will, because the other growth she is growing, excuse me, you beautiful petal, is right here to the left. I'm pointing at it. And while it's not up against the edge of the pot, I cannot have this growth go that direction. My light training has to be the opposite direction because I look at how big they're going to get. So I have to address this orchid. I dread it. That pot is huge. And here's a Cabogata in Verde that we just did recently in a video. So the roots are hydrating, and yeah, hopefully you can get everything plumped up. So let me just put you back on a even keel and not jiggle you around. Oh, and by the way, there's more down here, Lillian. There's more Ridiculous there, right in front of you. My Harpophylla is the one, the grassy one right here. For the first time this year, she bloomed on both leads. It is wonderful. And she's now growing another new growth. So, and this is where my Giuliani lives that we just saw. And that's where she bloomed. But of course, now I'm raising her up. There's two more Ridiculous Lalias in the back over there, recovering. And we have some more here to the right. I wasn't kidding. Right here. There we go. So, terribly burnt. This one right here, the Brade. The Flava over there did not bloom for me this year. Bloomed last year. Quelle surprise. I was very, very surprised. I was hoping for that one to bloom. It's grown two beautiful growths. No blooms. And then the large Kautskiana in the back there. So I can go on and on and on about Ridiculous Lalias. But one thing while we're here, when I do an update in the future, if you're going to watch it, you're going to see the repeat. Super proud of my Millery. It came to me in an atrocious state. Absolutely atrocious. And on top of that, I then had it attacked by thrips, as you can see here, last year while it was in the recovery station indoors. But look at that. You see that white sliver? And that's not the only one. So this root, this new growth right here, thankfully is a bifoliate. Turns out worked in our favor because, yeah, thrips, no more thrips. And then she grew two new growths. And Madam is starting to get rooted in. So happy because it was in a pathetic state. Absolutely pathetic state. I'm hoping that Brade is going to give us some blooms because we have some gorgeous growths on her. Right there, if you can see that. This is absolutely stunning. You can see she's starting to lift herself out of the pot because roots. And yes, in Ridiculous Lalia care guides, they say they like to be pot bound. They want the roots to be, you know, so snug up against the pot that they're going to actually break the pot. I beg to differ. You can see that for me, the root growth is exponentially more important than having them in a small pot. The two that you see on the right there, we're going to have to repot those. I don't like that they're in that tiny, tiny pot. They are too big for that, in my opinion. Both of them, I don't have any new growth this year. So I'm scared to do that because Ridiculous Lalia and their roots, it's like you break the roots and you're going to be very, very hard pressed to get them to grow back nicely. It's super rewarding once you get one established, but you're not out of the woods just because you have. Thank you, Lien Lien. I appreciate that. This is my perfect, my preferred grow space of all time. I really don't like my indoor grow space for reasons, because once the orchids are in there, then it's horrible weather and I can hardly handle it. You're very welcome, Brea. You know, let's just say if you're not in the Caribbean, 24/7, 365 days, including leap year, 366 days. And if you haven't got a growth space that, you know, accommodates the vigor and size and growth habit of a Laelia anceps, I have seen Laelia anceps being potted up in like baking pans for the oven and just laid them down and strapped into like, you know, a pan, whatever, that has like, it has a lid, like a ridge around it. I have seen that done and it's been successful, you know. It's just a question of whether that is something that you would be interested in doing. Fernanda grows a beautiful anceps and she's got hers in the pot and it's growing really well. But let me just see, there was something, did I want to show something else now that we're here? Oh yes, I did. Oh, you guys. Oh my goodness. Let me raise you up. I'm sorry I start to jiggle. It's just I get a little bit excited sometimes. Hang on a second. Look at that. Look at my Dendrobium Bensoniae. Considering I didn't buy her for being her. This orchid came to me by mistake. She was supposed to be the replacement for my Unicum. So there's Unicum that was a little bit patetico. I was scared it wouldn't survive. So I bought a replacement and then I got this instead. They got it wrong. I cannot tell you. Oh, I can mumble, grumble, and be so upset about, you know, mislabeled orchids. But this one, I am so happy for the mistake. Oh, you guys, my blooming alley at the moment smells of tangerine and orange and apricot kind of smell from the Unicum here on the right. This is vanilla sugar. Even on a cloudy day, I walk into this space and I know she is, oh, I got goosebumps talking about it. We'll check out the Victoria Regina because you guys, I cannot. I could faint. I'm so happy when I see what is happening here on the right side of the alley. Unfortunately, my polyanthum is already going over, but then I come over here and I've got this gorgeous gardenia and Lady of the Night fragrance from my Cattleyas, my Cattleyantha white bridal. She's everything I thought she would be, and then some, because, you know, descriptions are one thing, reality, different ball game. And I come here and I smell lemon sherbet. This is a beautiful lemon sherbet, lemon meringue kind of orchid fragrance from my Purpurata Weghäuseri. She has the dessert of fragrance of like lemon sherbet but with cream, with sweet cream. You guys, I'm at the moment, I'm welling up because this was not expected and I'm so happy. I accept an orchid not to bloom. I mean, it worked in our favor with the intermedia. I'll accept that. It happens, especially when things aren't 100%. But then when it does happen anyway, it's like, oh my gosh, I get so emotional. Look at this. Hibiki is on the way as well. Lots and lots of happenings here with Hibiki. So we'll have some gorgeous hot pink coming through. And then in the video, oh, how can I forget? We're moving on down. Sorry if I'm too jiggly, from the lemon sherbet with cream. She doesn't smell, but I'm getting some more buds from the radicans. And look, this is Epidendrum parkinsonianum. Oh, you guys, I just can't. At night, when the others stop having their fragrance, then she starts with a lemon smell. I just can't. We repotted her. I only have this one lead in bloom. Last year I had the other lead in bloom as well. But, you know, low light levels, and after repotting, I mean, the fact that we've got 2 blooms for this orchid that should now be in bloom if there's no mistakes happening for the next 3 months, I just can't. I can't tell you how grateful I am. It's just, you know, year after year, it's the same blooms. Whoop-de-doo. Year after year, so it's the same blooms. Yay, every once in a while I get a first-time bloomer, but it's like, when you see them come back, look at this. Hang on a second. I am with the tripod. I have to be super careful. This is a tight squeeze. Hang on a second. And you look at this. And she's blooming from my favorite canes. I'm not fair to say the other ones aren't, but this is the deep, rich purple. It doesn't come across camera that well. There's about 2 shades deeper purple than what you see. These are my favorite blooms, and she's doing it on the oldest canes that she came with. That's why they're dangling down like that. And these oldest canes are the deep, rich purple ones. I just can't. I guess I'm losing the plot now, and I'm starting to weep and well up. But it's like, you know, when you look around, I don't know what I would do without these. I really don't. They make me sad. They make me mad. They give me anxiety. You know, I live in hope all the time. And then, you know, they make me question myself. And then this, it's like you just, anyway, what can I say? Sorry. I'm sorry. Is anybody still here? The idea of what? Carmen, please tell me the idea of what? Flowers with face. Oh, and by the way, the plumatum that I destroyed the last time I moved my tripod around like some kind of ninja wielding their sword, I knocked off some blooms, but you know what? Plumatum is chucking out another spike. That would be the 3rd from the same growth. The first one deteriorated. I guess it got a little bit of a chill. I don't know. And I thought, okay, never mind. We'll get a new growth. That's it. It chucked out the 2nd spike, and then Dum Dum here knocked the tripod leg up against the blooms that had already come out. And well, they were history very, very quickly. And it's grown a 3rd spike. So I guess 3 times the charm. It's like saying, lady, will you just stop? It's just like, can't you see what I'm trying to do here? I want to grow and bloom for you, silly woman. So I've tucked it onto the bottom shelf, way away from the frame, the outer perimeter of where maybe even a doggy tail can knock it. You know, we don't want to push our luck. Yeah, that's me. That is me, Carmen. I am up, down, flat line, exhausted, and then woo! That's me. I don't recommend it to anybody. I promise you, I don't. Don't think that this is normal. It's not. It's exhausting. Thank you, Linda. You can relate. I appreciate that. They make us better people. We learn about ourselves through them. Isn't that the truth, though, hey? Isn't that the truth? Okay, Carmen, which orchid do you need the ID for so that I can type it in? I don't want to miss that question and miss to answer that question. But yeah, ooh, the vanilla. It makes me want to have an iced coffee with vanilla in it. It's wonderful. So I'm going to wait for Carmen's question, which orchid she meant. The yellow and the bluish purple. The yellow and the bluish purple. The yellow. The only yellow I have is my Ridiculous Laelia, and that is, let me write it into the chat. The dendro, okay, the yellow, whoa, stop shaking. Laelia Briegeri. She is not rare. That's the yellow one, okay? That's with the little yellow blooms. She's not rare. Available in Europe. If I can find a link, I will put that link into the description or into the comments when this video goes live. And she is a medium. She is considered a large Ridiculous Laelia in comparison to what we saw before. The replacement for the unicum is Dendrobium bensoniae. Whoop, bensoniae. The canes are approximately 60 centimeters when they come to full length. The bloom duration on that one is approximately 3 weeks. If nothing takes them out like a hot, dry wind or something like that. So the temperatures right now are pretty favorable. The purple one is Dendrobium Victoria Regina, which is a cool to cold grower. So as long as there's no frost and your temperatures stay above 5 degrees Celsius or 41 degrees Fahrenheit, those are my conditions, they will grow. Okay, I don't know if she can take frost. I've never tried it. So I can't speak on that, but I can tell you she can go down very low. I never bring her indoors, not even during the summer. So that Dendrobium Victoria Regina is the purple one. And she's a beauty. I am well pleased and very lucky to have her growing in these conditions. I would never ever have imagined it. But here we are. This is when I like to be proven wrong. You are very welcome. And there's videos on Victoria Regina as well in the Dendrobium lookbook. So that's awesome. I'm just looking at my Bensonia and I just said that's awesome. Woo! Lost the plot. Anywho, so that was the extension because Lin brought us into the Rapiculus Laelia realm, and then it's like poof, my brain just went yes. You're welcome, Carmen. But it is now that I'm going to say no, don't be sorry. No, I love it. Can you not hear it in my voice? I went from frantically trying to separate 2 orchids out from silent movie to even losing connection in between. I appreciate everybody who just stuck through that and was still here. Thank you so much. I hope you have yourself a fabulous rest of your Sunday, whatever it is that your plans are. On that one condition though, please, that you stay safe. Take care. Bye.